I always say that, if the youth won't go to church, we need to go into their phones because that's where they are. That's where they are.
Okay.
And wake them up and remind them and say, hey, what, are you going to church? I think a lot of people, when they see a foreign priest or a foreigner who lives in Cebu, the usual things they think about are like, oh, he's the kind of guy who like fell in love with the Filipino culture.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna
right?
say.
It's like this thing, but actually, I have a pretty different story. So, which is kind of fun. So, faith is passed on in relationships. Through people who believe in you and who accompany you and listen to you and cry with you and laugh with you and who love you. And I think for me, that's what I've seen so far.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. And I have with me, finally, after, I don't know, when was the first time I reached out to you? Just as a fan, as a follower.
As a follower. I'm also your follower. So
we're following each other.
Following each other for a while. Coffee lovers.
Yes, absolutely. So we have Father Sam. Welcome, Father Sam.
Thank you so much, Father.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm still a little bit starstruck. Wow.
Me too.
We've literally just met today. So we didn't have any actually I sprung this up on you very last minute. So thank you for graciously accepting, sitting here and being interrogated.
The interrogation table. No, I'm very, very blessed to be here, Father. Thank you so much. I'm just spending just a few days in Manila after Christmas. So it worked out perfectly just to swing by here, have a very delicious cup of coffee, and record a podcast. Yeah.
I'm honored because I know you get your coffee from a good place.
Oh, that was a good coffee. Good.
Thank you, Father. Yeah. Oh, anyway, Father Sam, can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So, hello, everyone. And my name is Father Sam. Welcome to the Padscast. Wow. I have a cup here, which is the Padcast cup too. So much fun. It's so official. It's so cool. Good job, Father. So my name is Father Sam. I am with the Brothers of St. John.
Brothers of St. John.
Brothers of St. John. It's a community that for the moment is not so much known around the world, but it's a really cool community. Yeah, I joined obviously in the U.S. where I'm originally from.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from in the U.S.?
Michigan.
All right. So I asked, but I'm not really sure about my geography.
Yeah,
so like middle.
It's Midwest.
Okay,
but the North also. So there's snow in the winter, and everything.
Oh, okay.
But so I haven't lived there though for a while because I did a lot of my formation in France. Because at the time when I entered the community, we were very centralized in France. Now we're very decentralized, and so I live now in Cebu. I've been living there for a total of 6 years now. And I love it there. Absolutely love it there. It is a beautiful place to be on mission. The reason I could make a long story short. The reason why I love to live in Cebu is because I feel like the church in Asia has such an important role to play. For the new generation, for the new evangelization, which is very dear to my heart. And so I have so much love for evangelizing Asia, actually. And I find so much purpose in that. So yeah, that's kind of me. I've been a content creator for a couple years, which is another long story. Yeah.
It's so surreal to hear your voice through my headset. You're here.
I'm here, man. I'm here. This is so surreal. Also, I'm seeing the image on the camera. I'm like, this is the podcast. Wow. And so some of you might have seen me already on Facebook or TikTok, especially. Mm-hmm. I make content in Cebuano. So I speak fluent Cebuano.
Yeah, can you greet them in Cebuano?
Yeah, may buntag sa mga binisaya diha. Kumusta naman diha? Hala. Happy New
Year. That is amazing. I don't even speak fluently. I understand a bit. But yeah, that's amazing how you learned it so
I kind of have to, actually, because where I live in Cebu City is an area where I really need to learn Cebuano. I need to speak Cebuano. So I'm a full-time youth minister also. So I'm a content creator.
Well, yeah, that's a lot.
Content creator.
Minister. Which came first, the content creator?
what came first? The content creator. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I started creating content during COVID, actually, when I was still in formation. I was living in Cebu on my pastoral formation period. So I was living in Cebu, learning how to do apostolic work, and COVID happened. And I was like, well, what am I going to do now? There's no activities, there's no youth ministry. So that's when a friend and I decided we were going to start making videos. And it just kind of snowballed from there. I made a couple little series of YouTube stuff. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then I realized that I liked speaking in front of a camera. I liked being creative with content. And then even when I went back to France for my theology formation, I continued to make reflections there. And now I have, Facebook and TikTok in Cebuano, but some of you also might know me from the Hallow app. Shout out to the Hallow
They're
app.
friends of the pod.
Yes,
Hallow,
yes, super. I love working with Hallow. I find that they have a beautiful mission to reach out through their app, through using social media. So I give a daily reflection for that. I'm a full-time youth minister in Cebu City, which is kind of my main job. I'm trying to basically make sure that youth in Cebu City especially, but around the Philippines, still see how the faith is so beautiful today, that it's not just something, not just something cultural, but something that can really, really change their lives and give them so much purpose. And I love watching them discover Jesus, discovering the beauty of the church. And then I'm also a student. So I'm studying for a master's degree in pastoral theology with the Augustine Institute. And that's pretty much me. I
That's
think,
a lot, Father.
It's a lot. I'm a busy man, but a happy one. Yeah.
Oh, that's important.
Yes, very happy. Yeah.
Wait, Father, so like learning Cebuano, how was that for you? Because you seem to learn it very quickly.
Well, it took me a couple years because the difficulty with learning Cebuano is there's very few resources for textbooks and stuff like that. So what I did, most of what I learned was from basically just talking to the neighbors and the youth. Really. Yeah. My first mission that the brothers gave me was working with young boys. Most of them were like out of school, kind of, that kind of vibe. And so I really had no choice but to learn the language. And I was happy about that. I was happy that I was forced in that situation to learn the language because it's a way to get into contact with the people. Now I make content in Cebuano. It's very fun. But it was really through just hearing things. When I didn't understand a word, I would write it down, ask them what it meant. Just, little by little over the years. Yeah.
So were they generally helpful, or were they like naughty ones who would like sneak in a
Teach you
bad word?
Yeah.
Two? Yeah.
I had to make sure I learned all the swear words first. It's like,
That's
okay,
smart, Father.
tell me the swear words. So I learned all of them. And then, that thing, when I was a priest as well, it was funny. I said, teach me all the sins. I need to understand all the sins. So all of that. But really just through conversation. I had a good friend of mine. He was an old, kind of a father figure who I'm still good friends with today. And he was, I would say, my main teacher for Cebuano. I would go to him once a week. We would sit down, have a coffee, and I would just try to babble out little things like a baby, just like, how do you say this? Blah, blah, blah. And try to say it. And he would correct me, and we would just, little by little. So that was cool.
Was there any word that you really are really fond of in Cebuano?
A word
or
that
something,
I'm fond
or a word,
with?
a phrase, or something that you really had to wrap your head around.
Well, what fascinates me with Cebuano, and I guess Tagalog as well. I mean, I speak a tiny bit of Tagalog, but is how much the grammar is so different from English. Yeah. And so it still amazes me today. There's how much, when you learn a language, how much you understand also the culture behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I speak French as well. I speak French as well. And obviously completely different from a Asian language.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. Just seeing how the sentences are formed, basically the grammar behind it, and how it's so, for example, it's so relational. The Cebuano language, and I'm Tagalog as well. It's all about how you relate to something or someone, which is so fascinating because it really says so much about like here in the Philippines, like our values, right? Like relational values, and yeah. So that's been fun.
Okay.
It's been fun. Yeah.
So it took you around like 1 year, 2 years.
It took me around a year to have a simple conversation.
Mhm.
And then, so I've been speaking it for 6 years. I'd say probably 4 years to be able to really preach in Cebuano, like pure Cebuano, celebrate
alright.
mass, be kind of really fluent in it. Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
there any moments that you had like a funny thing that happened in mass or because of speaking in Cebuano or in the middle of ministry?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of
Okay.
one. I'll try to think of it while we're talking. I'll try to
Yeah,
I'll try to come
I'll
up with
call
one.
them up. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
It'll
what
come
I'm
up.
afraid of. Like you mess up the language and you say something funny,
Yeah. Yes.
or pronunciation
Yeah,
wise and all that.
some of them I would be a little bit embarrassed to say on the camera because it's with like swear words and stuff.
Okay.
It's so weird how like when you mess up so often in a language, you end up saying not just like a cute mistake, but like a really bad word.
I know why that is.
I'm like, ugh.
So you have to be very careful how you say something.
Yeah, and like the pronunciation of the same word.
Okay.
If you pronounce it a different way, it means something else. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. No, holy cow. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Father, I'm actually curious about the Brothers of St. John.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are you in youth ministry? Is that your charism or like?
Yeah.
So what are you trying to like give to the world? Or
Sure. Yeah. So we're a religious community that was founded in 1975. So we're
fairly new.
We're quite new. Yeah. And to give you kind of like the gist of the charism is so very providentially, we were founded on the same day that the Pope proclaimed the apostolic exhortation Evangelii Nunciandi, like the same day, like legitimately, December 8th,
Wow.
1975, which was, it's all about the new evangelization. And from the very beginning, we have always had a very strong, kind of identifying ourselves with the movement of the new evangelization. And so that has been, for me, when I try to explain what the community of St. John is, or the Brothers of St. John is for me, it's really the new evangelization. Now, on a little bit more of a, to be more precise about our charism, we have discerned over the years, because we're still quite young, right, that our charism is, new evangelization following St. John, which is St. John the Beloved, right? So the beloved disciple. So that's kind of like our spirituality comes from that. Like we're very into like silent prayer, staying close to the heart of Jesus. Also a very Marian spirituality. So welcoming Mary into our home like St. John did. But especially staying close to the heart of Jesus, the Eucharist as well, because the Last Supper. So, but we have discerned over the years that formation is kind of usually our main apostolate. So whether that be human formation, spiritual formation, so it's a lot of like teaching, preaching, forming people. So like our where I live as a youth minister, our center is training youth for leadership, especially. So like formation to leadership. My social media apostolate also kind of fits into there because it's really like about, forming youth to the faith, coming back to the faith. But yeah, we're all over the world actually. We went really quickly. Our community spread internationally. So most of our houses, or our largest province is France, because that's where we were founded.
Okay.
Actually in Switzerland, but then moved to France. So lots of houses in France. Africa also, lots of brothers in Africa. America as well, that's how I met them. And then in Asia, we have a house in Taiwan. And then, so 2 houses in Taiwan, 2 houses in Cebu, and then also in New Zealand. So we're kind of, all over the place. But it really kind of comes back to like living in community as a religious community. Our founder was a Dominican. So we're kind of very similar lifestyle to the Dominicans, but with a bigger emphasis on, new evangelization, formation, and living in community. Like, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Father, you mentioned that you met them like in the States. How was it? Like, did you plan to be a priest ever since you were
funny story.
Were you that kid?
Funny story. So I've known the Brothers of St. John since I was like 8 years old, actually, because my dad is kind of like the equivalent of a third order. We call them the Oblates for the Brothers of St. John. So when I was 8 years old, my dad would bring me to the brothers. We would spend Holy Week there. I would go to their youth activities. And then by the time that I was around 18, when I felt like I had a calling to be a priest, my first thought was, I don't want to be a brother of St. John. I know them too well. It's like, no, that's like my dad's thing, like I want to be like myself, right? So I went to other religious communities to discern.
Which ones did you like seriously consider?
So I went to especially the Canons Regular in Chicago. I went there. That was because they're so into the liturgy. I was a musician before. So
Really?
Yes, I was a violinist before.
Oh, okay.
And so I was very interested in liturgy and music and using the arts, and which they are really good at. So I went there. Also the diocesan priesthood, of course. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just go to the bros. Yeah, it was weird. Like, I think I just felt like that's where God was calling me, especially because so I lived with them actually for 9 months as a lay missionary. And during that time, I learned to love Eucharistic adoration because that's really part of staying close to the heart of Jesus, Eucharistic adoration kind of thing. And I could not imagine my life as a consecrated man without having Eucharistic adoration every day. And so I was just that just was really kind of what called me there. And also because we have a kind of a hybrid life. It's like we're very missionary, but also very contemplative. And I wanted both. And so that's why I ended up at the Bros. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it was smooth sailing since after deciding to enter? Or did you ever
more or less? Yeah. I had we have our doubts, right? During seminary years. One thing that was pretty hard for me was I entered very young. I was 18 when I started with the brothers. And for me, I felt like having work experience, having, going to college was something that I wish I could have had. So there were times when I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should take a break and go out and come back. But then I realized that God had given me the experiences that I needed to make a choice, to be a priest, to be a brother. But that they were different experiences than what a lot of other people had. So
how long was that formation like? From 18
to 28. Yeah. So 10 years, including the pastoral formation in Cebu. Yeah. Yeah. And I took an extra year because I didn't want to leave the Philippines the first time I went. So yeah, for my pastoral formation, it was supposed to be only 2 years. And I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to studies. Can I stay another year?
So what did you do? Just continued with the work?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I stayed an extra year in the Philippines before going back for theology. Yeah.
And were there different, how many were you in the batch?
We started out, so internationally we were 15, I think. We are now only 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the ones who ended up.
That's fairly, that's
no,
quite
4.
successful.
We're 4. Sorry, we're 4.
Oh my gosh. Who did you forget?
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. Yeah. No, me, 2 Filipinos, and a Mexican. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Batchmates.
Oh, that's so okay. All of them are priests now.
2 of us are priests. 2 are almost on the way.
Almost.
Yeah.
So you are now, you mentioned earlier that you're a 3-year-old priest?
3 years old. Yep. 3 years old. Yeah. Going on 4 years. Yeah.
Toddler.
Little toddler.
Not toddler. Yeah. No,
yeah. What is that? Even. What would that be? A little naughty, naughty kid.
Toddler, yeah. Because early childhood is, I'm 7 years old as a priest.
Okay.
So I would always think of my priesthood in the life cycle stages.
That's kind of funny. I never thought of that.
No, because it gives me grace to when I was messing up.
Yeah.
When a young priest, you make mistakes.
Right.
Say, well, I'm a toddler priest. So,
still can fall.
Still learning and all that,
Maybe I'm in that period where the kids, they say no all the time, No.
No. Do you? With everything you do, I think you're the opposite.
Yeah, maybe I need to learn how to say no. Yeah.
I know that's the first things I learned. One of the first things I had to learn as a priest is to say no.
Really?
Would you agree? Because like
Yeah. Yeah.
invitations, ministries come at you left and right,
Yeah.
and you have to learn to just say, okay, this is all I can do is like this much.
Well, especially as a young priest. I mean, I'm sure you,
Yeah.
even as a 7-year-old priest, you can
Yeah,
relate.
yeah.
Like, because people naturally they expect us to be full of energy. Oh yeah, the young priest, like, oh, they're so excited to respond to
Yeah.
this and that.
Just presume that you'll be there.
Exactly.
You know,
Right. Oh,
yeah.
he's full of zeal. He's full of like, oh yeah, of course he would do that. And we kind of, I mean, rightly so, it's fun to kind of ride along with that, right? Because we're like, yeah, I am young, I am full of energy, but I don't have infinite energy either. So like, no, saying no it's still something I'm learning how to do. I'm getting better at it. I don't know about you over the years, but like, yeah, it's tough in the beginning, but I have been, well, especially because I mean, my story as well, a little bit with yours as well. Like in early on in my priesthood, I became a little bit famous as well, right? So with social media and along with
we're
that,
not the same in that
Okay.
regard. You are much more
okay. So a lot of invitations came through that as well.
Yeah.
And then knowing how to say no to that kind of, to those invitations.
I
which
understand.
Are very, yeah. Anyway, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it, I think. Saying no to say yes to what's most important as well.
Yeah,
like things
that's
like,
true.
for me, I mean, saying no so that I can still spend time with my youth, saying no to really beautiful invitations that I would love to say yes to, because I need to stay faithful to my prayer life, trying my very best, that's also a difficult thing, right? I mean, not easy.
Yeah, it's always like, you have to discern every decision,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you just say yes too much, or sometimes you say no too much.
Yeah.
And you justify it with,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
but I get that so much. And for priests like us, it's like a journey, I guess. I don't know of any priest who like got it right, like got a good balance already immediately.
Toddler priests, right? Or learning how to walk.
I know.
I love that. I love that analogy. Like me being a baby, like we could say baby priest, a toddler priest.
Yeah.
It's
teenage
like
priest.
A teenage priest, right?
We
learn how to walk. We learn how to talk. We learn how to go through the ministry.
I forgot exactly where or when, but someone told me that, like, but you're a toddler, father. Don't be too hard on yourself. Say, oh yeah, okay. Because I'm like that. I tend to be too critical of.
I mean, like so many, me as well. My goodness. Like,
really?
Well, because I think we have, and naturally so, priests. We've gone through lots of years of formation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we expect ourselves, and I mean, especially we expect ourselves. Like other people can expect that from us too, but especially us, we think like, hey, I'm a priest now. I've graduated seminary. I've done that. Like,
I have degrees and all that.
Yeah, I have my degrees. I have my studies. I have my thing. And we sometimes don't really like ingrain it into our mind that, no, you were just born.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like this is just the beginning. And being merciful on yourself because of that, like knowing you're going to make mistakes, embarrassing mistakes. You will, get really tired sometimes and need to take a break because you said yes to too many things. Sometimes you can go the other extreme and get a bit lazy and then realize a little bit too late and then, come back and then,
It's a pull and push kind of situation.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
interesting. And okay, Father.
Okay.
So you've been here for 3 years as a priest, and like how many more?
Yeah. So
in the Philippines?
3 years on pastoral formation as a seminarian, and 3 years as a priest.
But
so
that
6 years.
That came with a gap, right? Because
Came
you
with
had
a
to go back.
2-year gap. Yeah. When I went to finish theology, I had already started it, but I had to finish it. Yeah.
Father, what would you say? Like, it's like the Filipinos, the Cebuanos teach you anything, right, that has really remained with you so far?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Things that they've taught me are the importance of relationships. I think that's the main thing that I'm still learning as well. And one of the reasons why I love Filipino culture, I think, Yeah, I mean, it's funny because as a content creator, I think a lot of people, when they see a foreign priest or a foreigner who lives in Cebu, the usual things they think about are like, oh, he's the kind of guy who like fell in love with the Filipino culture.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna
right?
say.
It's like this thing, but actually,
It's
I
cliche,
have a
yeah.
pretty different story. So, which is kind of fun. So, I came to the Philippines because I wanted to experience during my pastoral formation. I wanted to experience Asia. I was very interested in Asia just because it's so different from the Western world. Like I had lived in France, I grew up in America until I was 18, and I was like, I'm still young. I was 23 at the time, and I want to go see something different. And I want to see Asia. And I was first of all attracted to Taiwan. I was thinking about going to Taiwan for my pastoral formation because we have a house there.
Are you the ones who decide that?
We suggest.
Okay.
We suggest. And Asia, so our province in Asia, there are very few brothers. So if you say you want to go to Asia, they're like, yay!
How come?
So
why?
because it's
They'd rather go to Africa or
well,
Latin America?
we have a lot of African brothers.
Oh, okay.
So they're in Africa. But it's because it's hard to adjust to a new culture, really. And we don't have so many Asian vocations. We have, but not a lot. So we're growing though steadily. And so I was thinking about Taiwan, but what set me back is I knew that I would have to spend at least the first year, if not 2 years, to just learn the language because they speak Chinese there or like, Mandarin or whatever. So I didn't want to spend my pastoral formation where I was supposed to be learning how to do apostolates, just learning the language. So that's kind of what changed. And I was like, wait, Philippines, they speak English. So I can go there and do apostolates in English. And that's when I came to the Philippines, is when I realized, oh my gosh, I have to learn Cebuano as well. So that's why I learned it. But it was really, first of all, just me as a 23-year-old in my formation, just being like, I want to go see something new. But over the years, though, I mean, coming back to your question, over the years, what I have learned, I think, is really that importance of relationships, which I think is so beautiful for what the Philippines and Asia in general, especially the Philippines, has to offer to the church worldwide. I mean, the church is all about relationship, relationship with Jesus, relationship with one another, relationship with Jesus through the sacraments, forming friendships, discipleship, accompanying people. And I think so often the way that we see the church and talk about the church is like a project. Like, okay, we got to build a church, we got to do the sacraments, we got to do this program, we got to do this. And I'm very grateful for my time here because I feel like more than some other countries that I find myself so often just thinking about people and caring for people. As much as I have lots of cool projects like social media and my youth center and my studies and that kind of thing, for me, like being a priest here is so much about like, hey, how is that person doing?
Oh yeah.
I should follow up with them. I should talk with them. I should go out for coffee with them. I should do this. And I think that that's a real strength of the church here in the Philippines
that's very exhausting, Father.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It is. Thank God I'm an extrovert. Yeah. Otherwise I'd be dead.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah, you're not an extrovert. Are you sure? Are you sure?
No.
Really? Okay.
No. I need like time to prepare myself. And then I go all out. And then I know when I'm reaching my limit.
Yeah.
And they start to excuse myself. Give me and then I recharge.
Okay.
So like an extrovert is someone who like gets recharged as they interact with people.
Yeah. Well, we feel alive.
Yeah.
And I mean, like me I discovered myself as an extrovert quite recently. Actually, I always thought I was an introvert. But what I realized, it's also a question of your gifts as well. Yeah. Like me, I know that I'm someone who naturally builds energy, brings people together, builds relationships, and loves doing it. And so I was like, wait, I think that's extrovert. But so it's good for my mission field.
That's good for you, yeah. Because I entered like St. Paul, and our apostolate is supposed to be media.
Media.
So I entered this priesthood thinking that I would just be behind the computer and
Oh.
editing and writing. Before I went into like all this, I was in our magazine. I was editing and
Okay.
writing. So I never like imagined God would
Oh.
set me in this direction
Okay.
where it's very public facing.
Yeah.
And also that
Yeah.
because I'm involved with like the fees and that,
Yes. Yeah.
it made me
Light of Jesus.
really
Yeah.
very connected with people.
Okay.
And with the good, all the good things with that, and also all the demanding, exhausting things that come with
Yeah.
journeying with people, especially young people.
Yes.
Which I know you know very well. Father, you mentioned that you were in youth ministry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very interested with that because, well, I consider myself an accidental youth minister.
Really?
Because I never,
Okay.
as I mentioned earlier, I never imagined that I would be
Yeah.
like this involved with people.
Yeah.
I just had
Yeah.
this vision of, me in my own
Editing
secret
stuff
space and
and-
editing stuff,
Yeah.
coloring
With your coffee.
videos. Yeah, no, the coffee thing was not.
That was a
even-
later thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
a later
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But and so I'm curious because like, how
Hmm.
do you? I'm sure many people also are wondering like, how do they connect with the young people? So many.
Right.
That's the
right.
perennial question. Like, how do we bring them to church and all that?
The young
Anything that you've discovered that
generation.
is against what we normally hear, like
Sure.
the
yeah.
common advice that you hear, right? Like, how do you connect with young people? Make it cool, make it
Yeah.
anything that you've learned that seems to be against or
Yeah.
not
The typical
not really
narrative.
the typical narrative of what the young people need or
Sure.
respond to.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for the question. The youth ministry that I'm trying to build. So it's a pretty new mission. We've been around for only 3 years. So I'm still kind of, conceptualizing.
Toddler as well.
Toddler as well. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. But hey, thank you for this analogy. This is helping me be more merciful with myself. Really.
See, I told you.
really. No, I needed to hear
For
this
us who
today.
are so critical about our
thank you.
ministries and ourselves.
I needed to hear this. So yeah, it's 3 years old and it's called the Faith Hub Cebu. It's a youth
love
ministry
it,
we're
yeah.
starting. So it's not a parish, and it's really just a youth center. And the youth that we target is, so for me, what I would say is it's a pretty difficult age, which not a lot of people are venturing into, which is later high school, so senior high and college, and a little bit after college as well. And these are usually the years, what I've noticed, where, okay, the youth were sometimes very active in the church when they were young. I think we have lots of stuff for like youth in the sense of like, 14 years old and younger, like kids. Whereas this is kind of the point where they're starting to realize that, hey, like I'm my own person now and I have lots of questions about the faith.
Mhm.
And I'm not really sure if this is touching my life anymore, if it's really relevant. It's also the time when they realize that life is super stressful,
Mhm.
where it's the first time where they're experiencing that they have big deadlines for their studies, for their thesis. They're sometimes in their first job. They're encountering the real world, and knowing how to bring them to bring the faith into that and make it relevant when they're still super busy is a very difficult thing. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. That's kind of the age that we've gravitated towards.
Mhm.
And yeah, so our little center that we have, like I said, only 3 years old, but it's growing very fast because I think there's a big need for that age, specifically that age. And for, me as a youth minister, let's see, I love the work. It's very hard. And
That's the understatement of the year.
no,
It's very hard.
it's really hard. I love it. I wouldn't want anything else in the world to be a full-time youth minister, But-
wow.
but it is, no, because it's a beautiful mission.
I know. Yeah.
And especially in the Philippines.
yeah.
Like if you go walking around Cebu City in the evening, it's all youth everywhere. I mean, it's such a young city.
Mhm.
And it is so important for us to reach out to that generation. Because it's like, I mean, I really think, not to be like OA and over dramatic, but like, oh my gosh, like if this upcoming generation of Catholics doesn't realize how amazing their faith is
Mhm.
and be proud of it and practice it with love, like that could have big consequences for us in the future, because like we are such a young population. And so it's a big challenge. And it's a challenge of patience, building relationships, gaining their trust, which is not easy at all. Especially when they have so many questions, when they're doubting their faith and all this kind of stuff, and I found that, so one thing that I would say is really at the heart of what I do as a youth minister is I listen.
Oh yeah.
I listen, not in a very formal way. Like, it's not like I have an office where I sit and have open hours where the youth can come and speak to me. They know that they can come and speak to me. But what I mean by that is I will make programs for them. And I do we promote one specific program, especially called Alpha, we love Alpha. And we've learned a lot from Alpha, actually. And it's because it's so based on listening to each other. And what I noticed is that the way to build trust and to get at the heart of the new generation is so often by just being willing to listen. Listening to when they tell you, in little things too, like when a youth comes to the Priory, to our youth center, and just very kind of casually just says, "Oh, I'm so stressed with studies." And so often, my first reactions would be like, "Well, welcome to the real world." This is like, hello, wake up. All right. But
wow, big problem.
Wow, that's what everybody else is going through too. But to be really wait, oh really? Wow. Okay, yeah, bitaw, no, stressful. The life is stressful. And kind of being there for them, has been a challenge, but it's really, really great. So, and what we try to do also, so we have big dreams, is to train them to leadership. So not just make sure that their own faith is alive, that their relationship with Jesus is alive, that they come back to the faith, that they're going to church, but to also be like, hey, well, you guys are the ones who are the now of the church. The youth aren't the future, they're the now, especially here where our population is so young. And so being like, well, actually, it's great that you're a participant, that you're receiving, but it's time to step up. It's time to step up and believe in yourself and see yourself as someone who is able to disciple others into the faith. And that's like a big, sometimes it's a long shot for a lot of them. But we've had quite a few stories of youth who have discovered their own talents in that way.
Wow.
And that's for me a big joy to realize that. Yeah. As the youth are so talented, and they give me, as much as so many of them have stopped going to church, as much as so many of them can discourage us in a way, they give me lots of hope, honestly, for the future. The way their ideas, their creativity, speaking of things like social media, they have a heart of service, really, if you know how to get at it.
How's that? I'm sure that's what a lot of people would like to bring out. If I'm a parish priest, and I'm struggling with my youth ministry, how do we break through? What would you say is the things that I should?
I'm learning as well. Right? I'm a toddler still. I'm a toddler. But
this is just one advice from someone who's there.
Of course.
Because sometimes you hear the other generations, they talk about the young people in a very specific way. That's not true.
Right. That's not true.
So I just want to bring it out and say, okay, here's a guy who's actually there talking with the young people,
who believes in the younger generation. Totally.
What would you say is how do you break through? How do you empower them or spark the fire in them to step up, show up?
Yeah, I would say it's about relationship building, which takes a lot of time.
I know.
And I think that's the real challenge today, is because priests, for example, or any youth minister, any person who's active in the church, catechist, time is so precious. And we ourselves, we've experienced that, right? We have limited time. And being willing to build relationships, which I'm learning how to do as well. I'm not an expert, but I think that's where, because I've discovered so much that with the young generation, what they love is discipleship. They need they follow influencers, but what they need is role models. I love that phrase I have from Alpha actually. I mean, they love to watch influencers. They like their content, they want to be like them. But the people who will really have a big effect on them are role models. People who are like, no, I'm willing to spend time with you. And people that the youth can say like, I can be like that person. It's not just like a far off dream, like, oh, I want to be like an artista or whatever. Oh, I'm inspired by that person, or an influencer or whatever. But like, no, I can be like that person, and I want to be like that person. And listening, relationship building is
takes time.
Yeah, and because I think a lot of us would go right, like we hear this all the time, like, oh, the youth, they need to learn stuff, like, oh, they need to learn about the faith, right? Which is true.
Of course.
Totally true. Totally true. But I don't know what you think about this, but we so often will say that, and then we will make a lot of programs where we need to, they need to learn stuff. It's about, reading this and understanding the Bible, understanding that, which is very important. But we do it without the core of our faith, which is really that faith is passed on in relationships. Through people who believe in you and who accompany you and listen to you and cry with you and laugh with you and who love you. And I think for me, that's what I've seen so far in my short experience. Learning how to
short but rich.
Learning how to accompany them and get them excited about Jesus and the faith, because that's really what we have to offer. I mean, the church is, our churches are often, not like concerts. We don't have a super amazing presentation, but what we really have to offer is the quality of friendship, of believing in them, of relationships, which is a richness.
And there's no shortcut to it. You have to take time, invest. Being with them. And that's, to be fair to most people, most of our elder ministers, priests, catechists, they don't really have that time. So that's why, thank God there are people like you, Faith Hub and all that. That like sort of fill in the gaps of where.
We try our best. I mean, another thing I would say too is like, I've realized that we can't also invest our time in everyone. So knowing how to do what Jesus did as well, which is take 12, take 12 and to love everyone, to smile, to minister to everyone, but to disciple in a strategic way. To be like me, for example, I know I could tell you, I have a list of 10 youth. So only 10. So I have 100 or even more who are quite active at our place, but my energy, like my emotional energy, I guess you could say, as a disciple of Jesus, as someone who like is bringing people into leadership, bringing people into the faith, people who I care for in a sense, like who I see I have a role like that to them, is 10 people, 10. And I know who they are. I know their faces. I know their stories. And I follow up with them. I spend time with them.
That's good.
And that's kind of how because we can't do that with everyone. We're limited. It'd be great if we could, but even Jesus didn't do it. So Jesus had 12. I have 10. So that's probably, I'm getting there.
So what I want to know, Father, is what do they call themselves? Like Taylor Swift has the Swifties.
You know what they call
10?
We call them the disciples.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I thought
it
was something like more Father Sam.
No.
Father Sam and friends.
There's a group. So, because the youth who graduate our leadership training that we do, it's at the end of a kind of a long, like a formation that we do with them. The ones who graduate the leadership training are called disciples. They're kind of like the disciples of the Faith Hub. And in that group, so the first batch, there were 15 of them. And among those 15, I think, so that group of 10 that I was talking about, the ones who I really like prayerfully discerned are the ones who I want to invest in, like as not just a youth minister, but as a disciple of Jesus, right? Most of them are from that group, I think 8 of them, but then I also have 2 others who are journeying towards that as well. So actually we call them the disciples. Yeah.
So interesting. And it's only 10, right?
Only 10.
So you're like trying to avoid the Judas.
Yeah.
It's not 12.
when I was discerning, like because I did this actually quite recently, like a month ago, I really wanted to write down like names, specific names of like,
Wow.
okay, this person, this person, this person, this person. For this upcoming year, I want to invest in these people. And I was actually thinking about that. I was like, who's the Judas?
Because I know
who's
it's
going to
like, it's
betray me?
10.
Who's going to betray?
Why is it not 12?
Yeah.
Are you like already cutting out?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's interesting, Father. Like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
you have this like program in place and you're really following through with it.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing as well, because many like churches, groups here, they're good at initiating a
Yes.
project, a program,
Yes.
but there's no real follow through.
Yeah.
Like, so they
Yeah.
succeed in gathering the youth
Yeah.
with something attractive.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
then nothing
Yeah.
happens after
Nothing
that. It
happens
just
after.
peters out and all that.
It's our weakness, I think. And even with myself, like it is so, I've realized it is so much easier to run a program than to form disciples. It is, it's so hard to form disciples. My gosh. Cause
I
like
know.
what Jesus did. I mean, goodness, like it takes so much energy
It's so personal.
and it's so personal, and you deal with their, like they get mad at you, you do a relationship, blah, blah, blah. They and then, reconciling, and it's like, wow. But that's where the beauty is, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes what I realized. So those 10 that I have, I invest my energy in them. I do lots of other stuff too, but like as a disciple, that's where I, really like have my heart. And they are the ones who I kind of rely on, I guess, in a good way, to be the ones to accompany others, right?
Yeah,
So like
exactly. Yeah.
I can't directly reach out to all of the 100 who are there, but I can reach out to those 10. I can be nice to everyone, smile at everyone, and I can speak to all of them. But the ones that I'm training, like really passing on the spirit, I guess, of Father Sam, are those 10. And I'm like, and I know that they are discipling others as well. Yeah. So to give that same quality of relationship.
And it goes on from there.
And it goes on. There's generations of discipleship. Yeah. Yeah. Generations.
That's good. Like,
Yeah.
we're very grateful that there are people like you who like
Oh.
do the hard work, because that stuff, like as I said earlier, I'm kind of in the same boat sometimes.
Yeah.
An accidental
Yeah.
youth priest working with the youth because of the fees, because of that community.
Yeah. Which I love, by the way. Shout out LOJ.
Yeah. And I always sometimes in my prayer ask, Lord, I never signed up for this. And the response I get is like, well, you signed up to be a priest. So
Yeah.
and it's always been there.
I love that.
Yeah, So like,
Yeah.
okay, nga naman. It's like, oh yeah.
God sends us places. Once we sign up to be a priest, anyone, a Catholic, a baptized believer, God sends us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And okay, anyway, Father,
Yeah.
with all that, because you're also devoting a lot of your time with content creation.
Yes.
So is that because of the youth ministry? Is that like how you attract people? Like, I'm just curious about how the two play together. Like in Father Sam, like why do you do content creation when you already have so much demanding work with the youth?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, good question. And it's definitely the same, a kind of like mindset behind both of those things. So the Faith Hub, my youth ministry in Cebu City, is with, real people. And for me, that's where the real like action happens. Me as a youth minister, accompanying people, building programs, doing this, doing that. And then, but I know that for some reason it's weird. It's a long story of, why I really decided to go to spend a lot of energy with content creation as well, is because I felt that God was really calling me, kind of choosing me for some weird reason to speak to the masses also, not just to accompany individual people, but to kind of be, I guess, I don't know if it's a type of charism or whatever, preaching, of like encouraging people, of reawakening faith. And so that my target audience for social media, especially for Facebook and TikTok, where I'm most active, is the youth. And I know that people of all ages watch my content, but when I think of like who I'm making this video for, like the profiling,
who
I
you're
guess,
talking to,
I think of youth who have grown up in the faith, but who are kind of falling away, who don't really see the relevance of it anymore, and who are actually the same youth that I'm reaching out to at the Faith Hub. So that's where they kind of coincide, even if it's a very different way of reaching out. Because with social media, the advantage, as you know, is you can reach a ton of people, but it's not a personal relationship. So, but it's still important. It's still important.
Yeah.
We need people out there who will, I always say that, if the youth won't go to church, we need to go into their phones.
No.
Yeah, we need to go into their phones because that's where they are. That's where they are.
Okay.
And wake them up and remind them and say, hey, what are you going to church? Sometimes I make pretty punchy videos about that. Actually, it's really fun. Yeah, I did one recently. Yeah, it was like it was funny. I was like, New Year's resolution, blah blah blah. It's gonna be great. Your New Year's resolution should be to go to church every Sunday. Boom. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Like,
amazing.
Boom.
Yeah.
So
I hope people see that, like millions of people. I hope it goes super viral. And, because it's very important.
Yeah.
Father, I'm sure you get tons of messages because of your online ministry.
Yeah,
which then also demand a lot of time from you.
Yeah.
Like, me in my small ministry, I get messages that talk about, the dark space, Father.
Yes.
I'm sure you get a lot more because your reach.
I get
How
some.
do you do you also devote the same time, approach, or energy or attitude to these people who are reaching out to you online? Or you just say to them, you can come to the hub and we'll talk? Or
yeah, so people sometimes will come and visit me at the hub. I've had, good encounters. People will ask for a confession, I'm sure, like as you as well. They'll come. It's not so many because I guess this is my guess. I think that people think that I don't have time to respond to messages, so they don't send as much as you'd think. Like I probably get, people like sharing or really asking a question. I probably get on average 1 or 2 every day of like an actual, like someone really asking for advice or having a question about their faith. It's not like I get a ton. But when I do, I do usually take time to respond. Yeah. I take time to respond. Or sometimes if I know that I don't have a lot of time, I'll try to at least just say, hey, thank you so much for sharing. Know of my prayers for you. That's usually what I'll say as well. And they will respond, oh, thank you so much. I can't believe you responded. That's so beautiful. Just to know that I really do keep them in my prayer. But sometimes there's cases of, they want to talk to someone and I'll message them back and forth for a little while. It happens for sure. Yeah, it happens for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the not so nice responses to what you do?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to share?
Oh gosh. Oh, the bashers.
Oh yeah. Let's have a small sample.
Yeah.
Of what do you remember the most?
So dealing with bashers was.
Who bashes Father Sam? I mean,
why?
Oh gosh. What kind of angles do they see?
Well, you want to know who bashes?
Sure.
Okay.
No, not who. Yeah. But what's the thread of people?
What do they point out? I get 2 main types of bashers, like real bashers. So there's always random people who just troll, post throw random stuff, but people who will legitimately try to call me out, sometimes for good reasons too. I'd say sorry or whatever, but so first of all, actually, it's more like the radical types of people. So very radically conservative Catholics who are really against what I'll do with saying things like, hey, as any Christian can believe this, I'll say something about the Bible. I'll say something about prayer, and just being, a good old ecumenical priest, which we all should be, it's like, hey, we're all followers of Jesus and this is for anyone, this is for anyone. Sometimes I'll remind them that, and they don't like that. So more like radical Catholic, but also, as you can imagine, more of the Protestant side. I have lots of really good friends who are evangelicals and Protestants, followers who I am, and not just followers, good friends as well, who love what I do. But then, you get some people who will challenge, throw out Bible verses and try to get my attention in my direct messaging and then kind of haunt me for a few days. I've learned to, if I can sense that the person is not open to a dialogue, I usually will be they're not worthy of my time. Just because I've wasted a lot of time as well trying to dialogue with them. And it's very stressful. I'm not someone who deals with that very well. So I would prefer like, okay, you know what? If they're just going to yell at me and try to get my attention, because that's what they want. No, most of the time is I'm just like, you know what? Okay, I'm praying for you. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for voicing out what you think is not right about my content. At the same time, this is what I believe is right, and so that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's never fun. It's never fun. But I have gotten better with it over the years. The first couple of times that I had that, I was like losing sleep and everything. I was like, this person's gonna call me out and like report me to like report me to the bishop, and I'm gonna be like on headlines, and like when you overthink stuff, right? And I was like,
the toddler priest that you
chill.
are.
Yeah, it's like just relax. Yeah. Just relax. Just have fun with it. Like, hey, if we have bashers, we know that it's good for us because that means our content is reaching people who normally wouldn't even like our content, right? So it's reaching out to, like, the algorithm is pushing it out so much that it's getting to people who usually don't watch our stuff. And so that's actually a good sign. It's like, okay, my content is really being pushed out. So praise the Lord. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Yeah. Seeing the positive side of it also. Yeah.
Okay. Father Sam, time flew by so fast.
Okay. Yes.
And maybe just one last thing is like, what would you like to say? I mean, two things. First is like, what's coming in the future for Father Sam and your ministry?
Ooh,
Anything you'd like to put out there that maybe people should pray for with you or support, or I don't know, because we've had little miracles here in this show. Like people say, please support this ministry, and then someone reaches out.
Really?
So who knows?
Wow.
I'm not claiming anything, just a disclaimer. But who knows?
Okay.
I mean, just it's a new year.
So plans
what's
for
coming
future.
up
Okay.
for your ministry, for your content creation?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go full, Jonathan Rumi actor?
Grow my hair out. Yeah.
YouTube. I don't know. What's coming up for Father Sam?
Yeah. So what's coming up for me? I would love in the next couple years, if I can this year, that would be amazing. I would like to start writing. I'd like to start writing. I love writing, and I know that there's a need for that as well. I think reaching out to the young generation, making the faith relevant. I have not much experience, but I do have, I think, some stuff to say. And I would love to write a book in the future. I would love to write a book. So I want you actually, if you guys, if I'm needing anything, I need your prayers, because the obstacle for me to writing a book is that not that I don't like writing, not that I, don't have time for it. It's just that it's so hard for me to just get myself to sit down and write the book. Like, oh my gosh. Like I said, I'm an extrovert. I really do love to write, but I am an extrovert, and I love what I do. And if I could find time this year to at least start, thinking about writing a book would be really fun. It'd be really cool. So that's the future. And then, you know what? I mean, I think I'm going to try. The future also is, in the near future, is kind of discerning a little bit more where I need to make a real impact as well. Because I've made a lot of different types of content. I've reached out to a lot of different types of people, but I feel like it's time for me, as I grow from a toddler content creator. It's been 3 years now. So toddler, to kind of be a little bit more specific about, like, okay, do I want to be a little bit more of a reaching out to the peripheries kind of guy? Do I want to be a little bit more of like apologetics guy? Do I want to be a little bit more of like a scripture guy, a self-help guy? And there's so many possibilities. And I need to, I feel like I need to start honing in on a more specific identity as to where I want to make an impact. Yeah. So
all right,
prayers for that as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. That's very time. I mean, it makes sense given you're 3 years into this ministry and all that.
I've done a lot of experimenting, but I think I need to be a little bit more, I guess a little bit more, I don't know if formal is the right word or professional, but just like, okay, this is where I'm going to focus my energy. This is
more focused.
Focused. Much better.
On a particular, like I know, for me, like I know I'm not an apologetics guy. That's not really my
me too,
temperament.
Actually. Yeah,
And
me as
I
well.
don't think God will like to use me that way. Of course, God will always surprise us. I don't know. But I'm just leaning into what I love and enjoy right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I get what you mean. Like, you need to also figure out exactly what I want to put out there.
Yeah, kind of where God is perhaps calling me as well, to kind of to make the impact that God wants me to make as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's for the future.
Well, Father, thank you very much for all of that. And thank you for sharing your, like, what's up, what's coming, and what can they pray for you for this year, in this coming years.
Yeah.
Of course, you're in the right place if you want to write a book.
Yes.
I was
Providential
like clapping
meeting.
inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally we connected at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful, right? It's beautiful.
I know, but our doors are always open.
Okay.
Let us know how we can help with that.
Yeah.
With gifting to the world the first. This will be your first book,
First.
right?
Yeah. First.
The
Yeah.
first of what we imagined would be many books from
I
Father
hope so.
Sam.
I hope so. Yeah. Thank you for having me as well. It
Yes,
was
thank you,
beautiful.
Father Sam. I am so blessed. And we're already finished, but I'm still feeling very surreal that I'm hearing your voice through my setup. It's very weird
Aw.
because it's a familiar voice I hear through Hello and
Yes.
all that.
Hello
And
again.
now it's yeah.
Hello again.
Don't
and
do it.
welcome
It's-
to
it's
Living the
creepy.
Gospel.
Amazing. Thank you, Father Sam. It's
Thank
been
you,
an
Father.
honor. And to everyone who reached this point, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat for joining us today.
Yes.
And we are so blessed to have all of you. Please continue supporting our little podcast by sharing, liking, and giving us a rating, because that is the best way for us to grow organically in the different platforms that we are in.
Amen.
We are available on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you find your podcast from. So once again, my name is Father Albert with Father Sam.
Yes. Thank you, Father Albert.
And this is the podcast powered by St. Paul's, and may God bless us all.
God bless you.